Hi, good evening, dear staff and those who have presented today. Thank you for presenting for this meeting. So, I'd like to explain about myself first, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Sarvindran Sanosundrasekhar, and today I'm going to present about the training program for staff wellness and productivity enhancement based on the Navy people. Okay, before I explain furthermore about my training program, I'd like to ask a few questions. How many of y'all are good in English speaking? Because in coming this globalization, many many mixing up languages and tend to interpret a wrong message by mixing up languages. So this kind of problem is very commonly being observed in many industrial areas, especially in a chain retail industries like TLDM, government agencies, and also many more other private agencies also. So my program today is gonna be a example or a solution for those who have presented today to get a very clear view, an overview of what are the problems that being what are the problems being faced, and also how to overcome such issues in a large industry. Okay, I'm going to focus about I'm going to focus about how the problem starts. Where is the starting point of that problem, the language problem? Okay, so let's go on to the slides. So this is my objectives. As you can see, my objective of this program is to help supply employers of each department. You know, every major industry, there are always sub departments to produce a great productivity for the industry. Okay, so my objective is mainly four things. Okay, four things, which are to help supply employees of each department to improve performance at workplace, to enhance organization so that it can meet more efficient ways of productivity, to improve customer satisfaction, and also give a very good productivity to customers. Okay, yeah, it's almost the same, but there is a slight difference between customer satisfaction and also giving a good productivity to customers. Okay, so yeah. Okay, the purpose I'm doing this training program for these Navy people is because we very often go different countries. Okay, we sail. So when we sail, it take about 1 or 2 months sailing on sea. So once we reach our neighboring country, for example, I take about Singapore or Philippines, their English is much more advanced than ours. When we talk to them, there is a barrier being formed. Okay, so when the barrier is being formed over there, they can't understand what we are trying to explain, and we can't understand what they are trying to explain. Okay, so English is a natural, it's a communication language where we used to, ask, tell, talk to meet each other's purpose. So when there's a barrier formed, it takes time to people to interpret the data, have to search everything. So that is the purpose I'm doing this training program, to stop the barrier from being formed. Okay, and the second thing is very less implementing of English language in this big organization. Okay, as I can see under my co-workers, excuse me, many of us are using multi-languages. Some of us are using mother tongue, some of us are using Malay. Yeah, Malay should be used because it's a national language, but when it comes to communication, we should also emphasize on English language also, because it increases our vocabulary, it increases our knowledge throughout the whole world. Okay, so that is why I'm doing this training program, so that we can get more knowledge on enhancing our English language. Yeah, and the third thing is, I'm doing this program also is because it forms a cultural difference at our workplace. So when this English language is not being applied, there is a cultural shock among departments, or we can say among a certain entity in the department. Like Malays only communicate with Malays, English only communicate with English. Indians only communicate with Indians. So when this type of cultural difference form, there is no intercultural messages being exchanged. Yeah, so when there is no message being exchanged from one culture to another culture, from Malay to Indian to Indian to Malay, so it's like we are living in a multinational company. So when these things are not being exposed, so we are like katak di bawah tempurung. I mean, that peribahasa like comes to my mind. So yeah, the frog under the cave. It's like that. We are not advancing ourselves. We are more backwarding ourselves. Okay, through this program, I believe that our employers will enhance their English language even more further by advancing it through, like, they can download some apps, or like when they communicate with each other, more frequent of English language being used. Okay, when we are working with international employees, as I can say, as I say earlier, for like when we go for sailing and all, when we communicate with people outside our country, easier for them to understand and easier for us to get our needs over there. It satisfies what our needs over there, and they also can understand what are we searching for. Yeah. And also by communicating in English through this program, the outcome is going to be a very outstanding outcome and a very unbelievable outcome lah, because many of us are going to use English, and it can help in our daily routine also when we deal with international customers. Okay, so I'd like to go on what are the departments that I'm choosing, okay, to implement this training program. Okay, this training program, not to say I'm going to implement it on all the departments under my roof. I'm only going to implement on 4 main departments. These 4 main departments are the major departments of productivity in TLDM. If these 4 departments aren't there, the whole TLDM is going to lose its strategic place in Malaysia. Okay, what are the 4 departments? I know you all must have the question, what are the 4 departments? Okay, the 4 departments are customer service department. Okay, more we can say like customers report or information, those who have all these kind of things. For example, like receptionist. Yeah. Okay, the second thing is administration staff. Second department lah, I'd like to implement it, because they deal, most 70% of the industry's productivity. Okay. Third is radio operators who are specialized in their job, and they should be also enhancing English. And the fourth is hospitality staff. Okay. I'd like to go more detail on customer service staffs. Okay, as we can see, customer service staffs are having hardship in having a clear understanding about what the supervisors are instructing them to do. When officers instruct the subordinate to follow orders in English, sometimes they tend to tremble. Why is there a tremble over there? If you are very good in English, you should be like, can do the job easily. When they tremble, that is where they feel like, I'm being watched, I'm being bullied. No, there's no such thing. Okay, actually, when an officer gives you an order in English and not your mother tongue, or like not in Malay, you should be obeying the order, and that is where they have the hardship over there. They can't understand, the barrier is being formed over there. Okay, when communicating with higher officials in mother tongue also impacts the organization, because majorly we can see many places, many departments in many bays or ships are being used this mother tongue issues. So to overcome it, many have to handle, many have to bring up this kind of program, so that they can understand very well what are the barriers they are facing, what are the problems that they are undergoing, and what are the solutions they can come up with. Okay. And the last thing is, between these customer service staffs, when they are being deployed to another organization, for example from Malaysia, they're going to Turkey, Russia. So when they go to that type of places, they tend to face a culture shock, because majorly worldwide everyone is using English as a communication language. So when they go there, they feel like, oh my god, what am I going to do? How am I going to translate this? What are they asking for? So yeah, that kind of problems they are facing. So the solution for that is, I think they should come for this type of program, meet people with different cultures, so that they can learn more. When they can learn more, they can implement more on their daily routine, whereby when they are speaking with the officials, it's not wrong to use English as a communication language between them. It enhances more your vocabulary, your grammar, and it gives a good productivity to the organization. When outside world sees our organization is very well performed in English, they tend to even easier for them to make business with us. Yeah. Okay. Secondly, the administration staff. Okay, administration staff, what are the main problem they are facing is misunderstanding instruction or request. They are confused between instruction and request. Yeah, so when a request is being made, they falsely understood or mistook it for an instruction, and when an instruction is to instruct, the higher official gives the instruction, they tend to implement it as a request. So when this type of problems arrive, they tend to make mistakes. So this seems to be a very minor thing, but it affects majorly on daily routine productivity. Okay, and also speaking challenges in meeting and phone calls. During a meeting with a worldwide customer or worldwide organization, they tend to tremble, or like they feel like what so yeah, this kind of issues are being formed over there. Okay, when they join meetings, they feel like many difficulties, hesitation, miscommunication, lack of confidence. They don't voice out what are they feeling inside, or what are the messages they have got that they're going to implement in front to the organization, and also to the customer. Okay, and the third thing is reliance on written communication without visual cues. Okay, when we are working, I'm an administration staff, so when I work with email based jobs, where sometimes the message what the customer is giving me, I might feel, why is he mocking me, why is he scolding me? But then he is just messaging me in a normal tone. The tone is not there when I'm receiving messages or replying messages. So sometimes there's a misunderstanding being produced when things are, not as we expected. The expectation didn't meet the ends. Yeah. For hospitality staff, they tend to face problems like misunderstanding guest requests, difficulty explaining services and procedures, cultural communication difference, same as customer service staffs, accents and pronunciation barriers. So we can see from here, the major problem is they are not exposed to this kind of situation in life. When it comes to organization, they feel like it's okay to communicate in mother tongue. So my training program here is mainly focusing on how am I going to overcome this kind of problem for my staff, those who are under my roof. So I am implementing this program for everyone to come and attend, whereby they will be given a very basic slides to be presented to them on grammar mistake, vocabulary check and everything, to check out their vocabulary and grammar mistakes. What are they communicating in daily life? So I will make them to write and understand what are they going through, what are the barriers they are being formed. So when I get through these kind of problems from them, I'll take it, and then I will figure out a solution, which is to overcome this kind of problem. And my solution for this kind of issues, or any issues they are facing, I'll explain to them and make them communicate each other. For example, a Malay communicate with an Indian or a Chinese. A Chinese communicate with an Indian or a Malay, and an Indian communicate with a Chinese or Malay. So when in our Malaysia, these three cultures are very highly populated. So when we communicate each other in English, we tend to increase our vocabulary, and also we tend to correct our mistakes that are being formed. Yeah, so that is what I'm planning on doing. I have implemented that to my workers under my department, and they are giving a successful outcome. So this training program, I welcome everyone to join. So if you are facing any kind of problems, difficulties, please do attend the program. Okay, and that's all I'd like to say. So thank you very much for everyone to come and join for the talk of mine today. And I would like, and I hope that many will join and give a greater outcome to the production of this organization. And thank you very much. And my solution for this kind of issues or any issues they are facing, I'll explain to them and make them communicate each other. For example, a Malay communicate with an Indian or a Chinese. A Chinese communicate with an Indian or a Malay, and an Indian communicate with a Chinese or Malay. So when these, in our Malaysia, these three cultures are very highly populated. So when we communicate each other in English, we tend to increase our vocabulary, and also we tend to correct our mistakes that are being formed. Yeah, so that is what I'm planning on doing. I have implemented that to my workers under my department, and they are giving a successful outcome. So this training program, I welcome everyone to join. So if you are facing any kind of problems, difficulties, please do attend the program. Okay, and that's all I'd like to say. So thank you very much for everyone to come and join for the talk of mine today. And I would like, and I hope that many will join and give a greater outcome to the production of this organization. And thank you very much.